look at this freshly made okra soup, Sierra Leonean styled okra soup, and that is what I'm going to be showing you guys how to make in this video. And in case any of you guys are wondering, I myself am a Salone girl, so of course that means this video is also going to be an authentic recipe. So here I have some lovely fresh okra that I handpicked from my local market, some white onions, chicken wings, scotch bonnet, maggie cubes, palm oil and some salt, and also my lovely and trusted Dutch pot. If you guys do have a Dutch pot, I do recommend you use it for this video as well. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. When it comes to cooking, I don't usually measure my ingredients. However, for you guys, in the description box, I will be listing a rough measured out guide of all the ingredients that I'm using today. And alongside the visual guide shown in this video, I can guarantee that your okra soup is going to turn out amazing. So to start, I'm cutting the end of my chicken wings off, cutting the rest of it in half, and then putting it in a bowl. Make sure that you wash your meat, guys. My preferred method is to soak it in water, lemon juice, and sometimes vinegar as well for about 10 to 15 minutes. And while that's soaking, let's move on to the main ingredient of this dish, which is our okra. I rinsed the okra a few times, and while still submerged in water, I'm taking all of them out and slicing them into very thin pieces. Though it can at times be a bit time consuming, especially depending on the amount of food that you'd like to make, so I do suggest putting on a good song and listening to some music while doing so. You can choose to do this part the day before, or some stores even have pre-sliced okra that you can use instead. However, nothing definitely beats using fresh ingredients. Alongside this, I'm also mincing 1 medium to small scotch bonnet. You can add more or less depending on your spice tolerance. Okra naturally has a slightly sweet flavour, and I love that in this dish. So I like to add just enough scotch bonnet for me to feel the spice but also get the sweet notes from the okra as well. A perfect balance. Now I'm seasoning my chicken wings with just some salt and getting ready to fry it. And in case any of you guys are wondering, yes, just salt is needed for your chicken. The flavour of this will not be bland at all. Here I'm using some palm oil that I got from an Afro-Caribbean supermarket, and this is what we're going to be using to fry the chicken and also make our okra soup in. When the oil is hot, add your chicken and begin to fry it. I definitely recommend turning on a fan or opening a window or door, as palm oil is a very smoky substance to work with sometimes. While the chicken is frying, I'm cutting up the rest of my veg, where you'll also need 4 medium white onions. Okra soup can also be made with vegetable oil if palm oil isn't available to you. You'd follow this recipe the exact same way, however authentic Sierra Leonean okra soup does tend to use palm oil, and I do say, having tried both versions, that the palm oil one definitely tastes better. Cook your chicken for about 15 minutes until golden brown and then take it out of the pot. Make sure not to overcook it though, as we will be adding it back in later on. It's important to make sure that the amount of oil that you start with in this recipe isn't too much, as I remember my first ever time making okra soup, I added in way too much oil and fried all of my okra down into crispy bits. You learn from your mistakes definitely, and that has not happened since. When you've added in all of your okra, don't stir the pot, instead just cover the lid and let it sit for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, remove the lid, allow the water to fall back into your food and then give it a mix. And here you can see that the okra has now started to release its own water back into the pot, resulting in a more slippery consistency. Cover it with the lid and repeat the step again, allowing it to cook for 10 more minutes. And you know that your okra soup is ready to move on to the next steps when it looks just like this. As the water releases from your okra, it causes the palm oil to float towards the top of your dish, and that's exactly what you want. And this also lets me know that our okra soup is almost done. Now I'm adding in the 3 maggie cubes, 4 onions and scotch bonnet into the pot. Same as when we added in the okra, don't stir around your veg, just evenly distribute it on top of the okra, cover it with a lid and allow it to sit for 10 minutes. This allows your okra to get such a flavourful aroma and also allows our veg to steam as well before we further mix it. I also want to give a shout out to my dad, as he's the one who taught me how to make this recipe, and I was actually on video call with him making sure that I was doing it right. And after 10 minutes guys, this is how your food will now look. Do you notice how the once bright white onions have now deepened into a more translucent colour? That is from the steaming properties of a lovely Dutch pot. At this point, I reduced my heat to a medium-low, and after allowing it to cook for a further 5 minutes, I added in my chicken to bring everything together. There's so many other choices of meat that you can add to your okra soup. My favourite combination is chicken and pork belly, or you can even add beef, different forms of assorted meat, or even seafood. My okra soup needed a bit more moisture to help with the consistency of the food, so I added in a little bit of water, gave it a good mix, and covered it with the lid again to steam it. As you guys would have noticed by now, steaming your okra soup is a very important part, which is why even if you guys don't have a Dutch pot, just make sure that you have any form of a heavy duty pot to ensure that your food steams and doesn't burn. My okra soup is so close to being done, guys. Now I'm just giving a quick taste to see if it needs some more flavour, and in my opinion I felt like it could do with a bit more maggie cubes, so that's why I'm adding in here. Allow it to steam for one last time, and now we are finished. Look at this beautiful okra, guys. The palm oil that's floated to the top, the perfectly cooked okra, the chicken, and all of your added veg perfectly combined. When you look back on the ingredients, you might be surprised to find that the only seasoning that we actually used in this dish was just Maggi cubes and salt. I was surprised myself when making this with my dad, but it's because Sierra Leonean okra soup cherishes the natural flavours of all of the main ingredients used in this dish, and through the use of steaming, it helps to bring out those flavours, and that's what you'll be tasting in this dish if you try it for yourself today. It definitely took me by surprise, guys. Sometimes it still does today, but I can guarantee you guys that if you make this dish, it's going to taste sweet, spicy, a little bit smoky from the palm oil. It's warm and comforting, and it's even good for you, to be honest, if it wasn't for the addition of oil. I feel like that's the case with most African food though. I love pairing my okra soup with rice, but you can also have it with a swallow like fufu, gari, or even pounded jam. And my meal for today is complete with one of my favourite drinks, super malt. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, found it easy to follow, and plan on making this okra soup for yourself as well. This whole pot lasted me the whole week, so it's also great for meal prepping. I had so much fun making this video. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.